Good evening and welcome to A Cook's Tour with Rocket and to this wine pairing masterclass with Lottie Levy. Hi Lottie.
Hi, thanks for having me. Thanks for everyone for joining us for this special little 10-minute segment. We just thought it'd be nice to kickstart your cook-along really with some drink in hand.
Absolutely.
So let's have a little chat about this delicious Gusbourne Rosé that you've got, which I don't know how many of you have tried this at home, but Gusbourne are a really fabulous producer, which we just felt went really, really well with this menu. First of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about why we went for this particular rosé, because the menu is broad. You've got seafood, you've got pasta, a chocolate pudding, carpaccio. There's a lot of ground to cover, but I think what's really nice about a rosé is it has the complexity to go with all of this. Then England. Why English?
I was going to say, it's not particularly Venetian, is it?
I know, and Venetian wine is amazing, and obviously Prosecco is a big thing, but there's also really amazing sort of artisanal, smaller producers making amazing Prosecco and not sort of the mass market, quite sickly sweet stuff. But this is perfect, and the reason it's perfect is because A, it's lovely to support English producers, and B, it's top quality fizz now. I mean, you're talking comparable with, you know, really amazing champagnes.
Everyone is talking at the moment about English sparkling wine.
Exactly.
It's gone crazy in the last 10 years.
Exactly, and really, I mean, Gusbourne themselves, they only first planted their vines in 2004, so it's a very young industry. You're talking in France, in Champagne, you've got 100-year-old vines, so yeah, it's a big difference. And also, the reason that now English wine is getting so exciting is because those vines are just coming to age. You know, people that started planting in sort of the early 2000s, well, that's 17, 18, 19-year-old wine now. And
so it's all happening, and it's only going to get better.
Exactly. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Gusbourne. So Charlie Holland is the winemaker there. He's a really brilliant, well-experienced winemaker, and you can just see it in the quality of the wines that they're producing, because we've had, with all the excitement with all the English wine industry and the more popularity, there's been a massive expansion. I think there's over 850 vineyards in the UK now. And it's crazy.
Sorry, I would never have known.
I know, you would never get anywhere near it. And that doesn't mean everyone's making very good wine, honestly, they're not. But you have got some producers that are starting to make something really, really special, and Gusbourne included. So let's give this rosé a little try.
Oh gosh, look at that.
I know, it's so Moorish. You do sort of struggle to only have one bottle of this.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for good branding, but that
it's
has to
stunning.
Be up there as the most beautiful labels and bottles.
Definitely.
There are.
And actually, I will just quickly say this about Gusbourne, because something that makes them so unique, and they are at the premium end of the market, but the reason is they're producing only vintage wines, and that's very rare for a sparkling industry. Champagne, you know, you know when you're going to get a Bollinger non-vintage, you know sort of what you're going to get each time. Whereas,
why is that?
Well, the reason that you do non-vintage wines is for consistency, because they'll basically have a blending library of loads of probably 20-30 vintages out in Champagne, where each year they'll blend a little bit from each of those and some of the new vintage to then create this consistent wine, and that's how they make it the same each year. What's really lovely about Gusbourne and the vintage wines is that you get something totally different each year, and it's you know, it makes it quite exciting, really, if you care.
Yeah, well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll be more excited when I get to get.
I know. So try. So
what are we looking for?
So we're sort of looking for the strawberries, a bit of cherry, a little bit of creaminess in there, sort of a little bit yogurty actually, and that's actually because Gusbourne are really sort of stringent on making sure they age things properly. They don't release anything. This is the 2016 vintage and it's only just been released, and that's because they hold everything to that perfect moment.
And this is it.
And this is it.
Well, it smells fab.
So yeah, get your nose in there, and then give it a taste. Give it a taste. I mean, vibrant, fruity, you get the strawberry, you get the cherry, all that strawberries and cream sort of thing. I sort of feel like I'm at Wimbledon, and it's a little bit of summer, which feels a bit odd because we're in February, but actually it's quite nice to bring a bit of that sunshine. I think we need it in
sunshine.
Lockdown in the UK in February. I think we need a bit of sunshine.
Well, I think it's utterly delicious.
And it will be delicious with this menu. And you can sip this with your canapé, with your starter. It will be delicious with your main, and even with your pudding. If it lasts that long, I don't think it would last past the canapé for me.
Well, this is fabulous, and that definitely gets my seal of approval. And do Gusbourne make any still wines?
They do. And actually, they make really fantastic Chardonnay and Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Because they only grow Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier, which are the Champagne grapes. But the Pinot Noir and the Chardonnay stills that they make are delicious and definitely worth trying, because climate change very bad. Very good for winemaking in the UK, but we won't say that too loudly. But give them a try. They're really interesting.
Brilliant. Well, on that note, we shall. Well,
I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, we'll leave us to it because we're about to get cooking.
Brilliant.
So, Lottie, thank you so much,
No,
and thank you for
you.
introducing everyone to this fabulous Gusbourne rosé.
Enjoy at home, everyone.
See you shortly. Good evening and a warm welcome to a cook's tour with Rocket.
Vegetables, and as you see, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. And what I want you to do is put the space there, top yolk right in the middle.
Good evening and a warm welcome to a cook's tour with Rocket and to our next destination, the Romance of Venice. My name is Charlie Grant Peterkin and I'm here, like you, to learn from the master, Mr. Ryan Stafford. Good evening, Ryan.
I say it every time. I get used to this. I love coming here, Charlie, just to be called master for once in my life. I'm well, how are you?
I'm extremely well and very, very excited by this evening. We have a fabulous hour lined up for you this evening as we whisk all of you intrepid cooks to Italy. Ryan is going to prepare 4 dishes and we're inviting James French, pasta making supremo from the inspiring Nonna Tonda, to teach us a thing or two about Italian cookery as he creates his tagliarini ai frutti di mare. So tonight's destination, the Romance of Venice. There's nothing that we can say about Venice that simply hasn't been said before. It's an extraordinary place and somewhere that everyone should visit. Tonight is not about street or perhaps canal food or an emphasis on specifically Venetian dishes, ingredients or influences, although we will mention a few. But moreover, it's about the romance of Venice, or put another way, the food of love. Ryan, would you agree?
I would agree, yeah. I mean, look at the set for one. They've done a good job today, haven't they?
They have indeed.
And very sexy.
The roses are out.
There we go. We are on form.
We're on form.
I'm excited.
And we're ready to get cooking. As ever, there are a few rules of engagement. You can cook along now or you can cook later. And again, welcome to our Friday Cooks. Great to have you here. We have a live chat function which Michael is manning this evening, so please do fire any questions to him and he will get back to you. And of course there is the space bar, so hit the space bar if you need to pause and catch up. That's no problem at all. We have our little instruction booklet, so everything is written in there. And finally, we love seeing photographs of your food on our socials, so please post on our Instagram using the hashtag #CookWithRocket. Whew, I think I'm out of breath.
I don't think I've ever heard you speak that much, Charlie. I mean, I'm hoping it's time to get cooking.
It is time to get cooking. Let's get your ovens. Ovens need to be set to 180.
Let's do that.
And Ryan, come on, let's give us an overview of what is on the menu tonight, because I am feeling it this evening.
We've got some fantastic things. I mean, the main course for one, guys, wow, frutti di mare.
Whoa.
Any kind of seafood with pasta for me is an absolute dream come true. And to surround that as a kind of a centre point, we've got a beautiful beef carpaccio. We've also got some cured meat, some English cured charcuterie, which I'm really big about supporting British produce. Amazing kind of little canapé to start with. Joint little starter with that carpaccio. We've got some pumpkin with some mozzarella, and then we're going through the main course onto a very lovingly decadent chocolate fondant.
Oh, there we go. Wow, brilliant. Let's get started. Where are we going to start, Ryan?
So first things first, so you've got those ovens on. 170, did we say?
180, I think.
180. That's why he's here, to keep me in check. And pans on also. Blue smoke indeed, because we are going to be toasting some bread and then straight on to toasting some carpaccio. So first things first, we have got on the menu some amazing ingredients. Let's get the balsamic pearls.
Yep.
Heard of those before, Charlie?
Yeah, you know, I've had these before because, of course, you know, it's something we've played around with at Rocket.
What, I caught him out.
So, yeah, you thought you caught me out, but I'd love to see what you're going to do with them.
So amazing, couple of little bits here. First things first, we've got some sourdough, some copper, some rosemary cream, and some balsamic pearls. And we've got this beautiful little punnet of Cornish little leaves, which I'm going to kind of use sporadically throughout the dishes.
Yeah.
So we need to tuck into here. Bella sourdough.
I come across Bella sourdough. Come on,
I
there's a
know,
story
because
behind it, isn't there?
there is a little story behind it. It's my daughter's called Bella, and your lovely
Oh,
wife
Bella.
is called Christabel, I believe.
She is.
And you call her Bella as well. So, beautiful recipe that I created. My daughter loves baking it as well. We just want to get a few little slices.
Okay.
A few little rustic slices. I'm going to go in half there, and then I'm going to kind of pretend I know what I'm doing. And a few kind of bite-sized pieces that we want here.
And this is sort of the base of the canapé, is it?
Yeah, and
Okay.
the reason I've given you a kind of little hunk of bread is you're going to get some different shapes and sizes. The loaf was, you know, quite gnarly looking thing. Sourdoughs, they kind of do what they want in the oven. But you just want some nice little pieces like that.
Okay.
And they're going to shrink a little bit in size. So we're just going to pop those in the pan with some olive oil.
Yep.
Tiny little bit of olive oil. Some people don't like using olive oil to cook. I think, you know, if you're not going to send it to smoke point, you get something in there, you know, a few bruschettas in the oven.
So going into a hot pan, a little bit
Yeah,
of olive oil.
I think it's acceptable, and we probably want maybe 5-6 pieces.
Yeah, definitely.
And these are little bites, canapes. We know a lot about canapes, don't we, Charlie?
Well, we make a few thousand of them in any given normal year.
Any given day,
Yeah.
sometimes we make a few thousand. And you know, there's a few special little moments of a canape that I'd like to get across to you guys at home.
Yeah.
And that is predominantly 1 bite for a cold canape, 2 bites for a hot, but they've got to be big hitting.
Yes.
And that's what these beautiful ingredients we're going to pair up today.
There's a lot of pressure on a canapé, isn't there? Because it's got to be that sort of perfect
Yeah.
morsel. Everything has got to be in harmony, because you've only got one chance.
100%. And yeah, so talking about that, we've got some beautiful copper, some balsamic, some rosemary cream. So I say this all the time, Charlie.
Yeah.
Get your chops
Oh, let me get
on that a little bit, because we need some for the canapes. And then we've got some balsamic pearls here. Really unusual ingredients. I don't know if you noticed what I tried to do with the menu in this one. Balsamic pearls. Yeah, nice. All these sexy colours in there. You know, chocolate fondant, quite a romantic thing to have. Soufflés, fondants,
love, the food love.
special occasions. So
fabulous. The rosemary is very, very there. It's delicious.
So while that bread's kind of pipping away in the background, do take care not to try and burn that. I'm going to pretend I know how to open this packet.
So this is copper. Tell us about copper. What is copper?
Copper is, come on, turn around. It's the food of love, isn't it? Don't get carried away. So basically, you've got these lovely loins here, Charlie. You just want to ease the loin, nice and, sorry, wrong show. But you've got this muscle here on the top of the pig, on the shoulder. And as you can see, beautiful kind of maybe 30% fat. I'm not finished with you yet.
Okay.
You just stay there. 30% fat, 70% meat. And what it is on the pig, just wipe my hands on you, it works the animal. It's a working part of the animal. So as it's eating a high fat diet, you get all that lovely fat in there as well. Intra Muscular Fat is what they call it. I'm done with you now, Charlie.
It's difficult to know where to look when you know, Ryan is using music.
But that's where it's from the neck. And obviously the pig's down on all fours, you know, munching away at the ground all the time, really high fat diet. So you get that fat all the way through, and it makes it a beautiful, beautiful cut to cure, because it's obviously the fat that just melts in your mouth, the saltiness from the cure, and we've got some spices on there. That's almost done. We've got some clove, allspice, nutmeg, some natural salt, and they just let this go for like 3 to 6 months.
Really?
So absolutely, absolutely dreamy.
Gosh.
Let me just
So everyone's got their packs at home.
So getting a bit of a dry mouth just thinking about it.
And this is Cobble Lane.
Yeah, Cobble Lane, so up in Islington. So the owner, Matt, absolutely fantastic producer.
Yeah.
Kind of big imagination. He's just not really stopping. They've got some Wagyu, so I'll just pull it off while I'm talking.
Yep.
So we don't really want to toast them too much.
It's toast, isn't it? It's a little bit crunch, but
I tell you
not
what,
too much.
those two can go back
It's
in.
a bit longer, okay.
Yeah. So basically, they're curing Wagyu. They're doing Brezola.
Yep.
They've got copper. They've got almost like a Parma ham style little number going on. Do you want to try some of this?
I'd love to.
I'm not going to try it because it's one of those awkward moments where it just gets stuck in my teeth, and then I pretend everything's okay when it's not. But guys, as well, you've got a little bit more than what we're actually going to use, so do get tucking in. As I'm sure a few people I know have probably eaten half the packet already. But it's stunning, isn't it?
Very, very
And the key, a little bit like wine tasting as well. I always thought charcuterie was about getting as much in your mouth as possible and eating it as fast as possible so you can have another mouthful. But I'm wrong, apparently. So you know, it's a little bit like
Take your time.
Yeah, like wine tasting. You should let the fat melt on your palate. Take a little bit of warm air over there. You can really pick up all those spices that I mentioned earlier. So really, really important point. Palette knife. If you've got something like this, a butter knife will do. And these guys, these are some little canapes. I'm just going to be really clever with this and just like that.
Wow.
It looks like a little bit of...
How many years did you train as a chef to be able to do that?
I know. Tell me about it.
Extraordinary.
A lot of money and time invested in these kind of swipes, so don't mess them up. So a butter knife, a back of a spoon will do. But you want to get a real nice generous amount. So this rosemary cream's got a touch of parmesan in there, and some fried rosemary and some soft rosemary. And the reason we put both in is just to enrich the mix. These last two bits, just about to set on fire.
Yeah.
So real nice toast, all we want to do is crisp the bread up so that you can handle it. So just so you can pick it up, it's going to be extra delicious. And there we go. Portion control.
Good job.
You know that. It's good. Really excited about the guys trying these at home, because the flavours, like I said, really hard hitting. Crunchy bread, you've got that salty cheese, rosemary coming in there, and then this beautiful
Fabulous copper.
aromatic copper. So
What are you doing here? Hold on.
So I'll show you. Do you want to do it with me as well?
Yeah, I'd love to.
So it's almost like a circle, squarish kind of piece of cured meat. I want to fold it in half.
Yep.
Fold it in half again.
Yep.
And then pinch the bottom.
Yep.
And then we just want to kind of like sit it down here.
I see, I see.
So the thing about being a chef is just playing around with stuff until it looks nice and tastes good first, obviously, in that order.
It's a good anchor, that cream, isn't it?
It is, and it just holds it down. So you've got crispy bread, beautiful, creamy soft cheese.
Fold in half, over the top.
Yeah, and then just pinch it again if you need to.
And open.
Almost.
Genius.
Yeah. So I've kept this really simple. Do you know what? I can take things to a really elaborate level and they get quite fussy. But when you've got ingredients that taste so beautiful with so little done to them,
Yeah.
why complicate it? And paying true testament to kind of the culture and cuisine of Italy. You know, it's about big, bold flavours and textures with minimal effort. I mean, I've got a little bit of Italian cookery, big foundation in Italian cookery, and it's about just taking amazing things and doing as little as possible.
Well, that's what's...
So there you go. Would you be so kind just to grab me the big plate at the bottom?
Yep. And do these need to be dressed with the balsamic, or you?
Yeah, we'll do it on the plate. We'll get a little bit carried away. So we'll just pop these on. Really simple. If you've only got 4 left, that's okay. Just need a few for the plate. We're just going to pop these around. We'll go a little bit Delia style. We're just using half the plate. Get it all on your hands while you're doing it. No worries there.
There we go.
And then beautiful. Now this caviar, Charlie. Again.
God, tell me all about it.
Go and have a little bust.
Let me have this spoon here. So these are balsamic pearls.
Yeah, and they're from a company called Bellazoo, an incredible company. Really, really big partnership. They work with some great chefs all over Europe, but mainly in the UK. And balsamic is just one of those incredible flavours that's sweet, tangy, sticky, cuts through the kind of starchiness of the bread and the saltiness, and just really brings it alive. And pearls, just on topic.
That's so good. I could just sit with a
Venice.
teaspoon and make my way through that.
So little explosions of acidity just when you need them.
Yeah.
So we're just going to pop a few of these over the top. Don't worry, a few go on the plate. There's plenty, and there's some for the fridge for next time you need.
What could you use the leftover pearls for? I mean, salad or something?
Yeah, I've used these on canapes because they're great, ready to go, and they offer a lot. But you can pop some in a soup. Amazingly, they don't melt too fast, so I've put them in sauces before.
Have you? Okay.
Split dressings as well on like seafood courses, but absolutely incredible. And some of these leaves here.
And these are Cornish littles, are they?
Cornish little leaves, yeah. So nice little array.
I think we've come across these before.
Yeah, you get micro cresses, and the micro cresses they get a couple of weeks more in the sunshine, and they turn into a little bit more of a stronger, firmer little leaf.
And apart from colour, which I think is really important, what are these adding to the canapé?
Well, you've got in the roquette and the Mizuna, the bits that I'm putting on now, you've got a nice bit of pepperiness as well. So it's just like a twist of pepper on top, as well as the aesthetics. You know, food's got to look good. That's why, you're drawn to food. Is it a smell? You walk past a restaurant, oh, you smell like garlic. You want to go and see what's going on, where that's coming from. It's the same when you see food and go, wow, that looks amazing. I would love to try that. So just dance a few of those on top, like that. And there you have it.
Oh, brilliant.
Really, really nice and simple.
Love that. Really simple.
Really simple. You got some nice little bites there.
Yeah.
For your romantic night in. And playing true testament to the simpleness of Venetian food.
And at home, don't feel that you need to wait. I mean, tuck in, and
Yeah.
I mean that will go beautifully with the Gusbourne pink English sparkling wine. Come on, Ryan,
Are we going to go in?
I'm going to pour you a glass, so at least you have something on the go, because this is so delicious that you should certainly have a
I'm
little try.
excited. Let me pop that there.
And then we'll move on to the next dish.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, so let's pop that down there. Now the pan that you just had on, guys, I hope you've left it on. If you haven't, let's get that back on. Mine's smoking away, just because I chat quite a lot, as you may have noticed. We're going to go on to our next dish, which is going to be the beef carpaccio.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of beef carpaccio.
likewise. I mean, tell me anyone who isn't. Maybe a vegetarian.
Yeah, it's up there with you know, the big kind of simple starters.
Yeah.
In Italian cooking. I mean, you can have it sliced on, you know, it's sliced on bruschetta. You can have it on its own. You can have it with strong cheeses, gorgonzola dolce, or you can have it really simple. And I've put a little bit of twist on the classic here. So we've got some Anglais, aged beef.
Yep.
So it's
H.G.
like
Walter.
Yeah, H.G. Walter. You know, they're our friends. We love what they do. So we've got some English beef here. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's been lightly aged for about 21, 22 days, because with the Anglais, you don't want to age it too long like a sirloin. It hasn't got a lot of fat on it.
Yes.
So you kind of lose a lot of yield, but you do want it to dry out a little bit. And we've just popped some pepper on there. We're going to pop it straight in the pan just to see.
A little bit of oil, I noticed too.
Yeah, a little bit of oil, just to get a bit of smoke in the studio. Wouldn't be a cook along with Ryan if not, would it?
No.
Let's be honest.
A little bit of smoke in the studio.
Yeah.
And the immortal words.
Exactly. So while that's going on, I told you I was going to put a twist on the classic. We have got the most incredible. Now, it's a little bit decisive, this, so I'd love to know what you guys do. Do pester Michael on the chat, because when I first came to Rocket, I actually included these in one of my trials. With a beautiful lamb dish, and they have that kind of Amarena cherry. They're probably one of the best black cherries that have been preserved. Some people think they're a little bit sweety candy shop flavour, which gives them almost, it's been put to me, a cheapness. I think the opposite. I think they're unusual. I think you don't expect it, and then you get it, and you pair it with something very unusual like a savoury beef, and you're like, wow, lamb and beef, these go absolutely amazing with. So spoon, let me give my little rinsing pan today. It's a bit of an upgrade. What do you think?
And just on the beef, what are we looking for in terms of sort of timings and colour? So everyone at home who's got their beef on, what are we looking
you
for?
guys can see that now. It's carpaccio, predominantly you want it to be raw, and we just want to sear the outside. One, because...
So a bit of colour, a bit of crust.
Yeah, one reason is that because you want to kill the bacteria on the outside, so it's safe to eat. But secondly, you just get a little differential between caramelisation on the outside and the tenderness and lightness of the flavour on the inside.
Perfect. And I've noticed that you haven't really moved it either. You're just letting it do its thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't really need to. I mean, nice hot pan. That'll probably be enough. I mean, look at that. Anglais.
Yes.
You can't really mess around with Anglais. It's just absolutely beautiful. Again, minimal requirement and attention needed. You see it a lot on barbecues. It makes the best steak sandwich in the world. Bavette and Anglais is delicious. Bit of a tricky one on big numbers, but for small dinner parties and for...
Yeah, isn't it known as the butcher's cut? Isn't it
It is.
The cut that they always sort of hoard for themselves?
You've got a little bit of fat. You've got kind of big muscle threads in there, and you've got loads of flavour, and it's from part of the animal that's it's got lots of fat around it, so beautiful flavour.
And it makes a good carpaccio, does it? It works when it's thinly sliced.
Yeah, it does.
Texture.
Yeah, it does indeed.
Good.
And that's it really. Just move it around the pan, get a little bit of that smoke. Whenever you see smoke, it's flavour.
Oh, it's smelling
Can't beat it,
fabulous.
Like that, crispy bacon in the morning or grilled beef in the evening. It does not get better than that. Well, it could. We could have lots of red wine right here now. Can we put a note for next time, please, Charlie?
Next time.
Okay, so let's bring that over here.
Perfect.
Could you grab me? Would you be very kind to grab me the big long plate over there?
Yeah, of course.
This is a simpler. I mean, do you know, after Nordic a few weeks back, we've we needed to kind of like give people a little bit of a break. We've got some nice dishes here that just come together really, really easily.
Perfect.
Now, a few things we need to concentrate on here. You got your beautiful seared beef that's raw in the middle. I mean, you should get, when it's cooked, you should get a nice bounce back, which it doesn't, which shows it's still raw in the middle. That's perfect for what we're looking for. We talked about the caramelisation, really important. Now, can you see those muscle threads coming down there?
Yeah, I can actually.
With this cut in particular, and Bavette, all meat, you need to be very, very careful and pay a lot of attention to make sure that you never go with. Now, when I say with the grain, that's going with the strands in line. So you can see the blade is faced there.
Yeah.
So important. It's the difference.
Why?
I've had this in restaurants and they send it. Just turn this pan down.
Take your pan off and everyone take your pans off the heat.
Everyone take your pans off the heat. So basically, it would be the difference between a good mouthful and a really bad mouthful.
Okay.
You'd be sending it back if it was cut the other way. So as you can see there, we're just going to go real thin slices. Take the end bit off. I'm going to go as thin as possible.
Going against that grain.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to spin it around a little bit. Against that grain, really thin slices. And it's so tender as well, so it's a little bit more forgiving if you haven't got the sharpest knife and go that thin. Just want to go straight down across the grain. And what you're doing is, the reason people at home are going, well, he's talked about the grain, why wouldn't you do that? Well, basically, your mouth when you chew, if you cut across the grain, it's much more forgiving because the knife's pretty much cut all the bit that would make you continuously chew. Yeah, we sat there like a panda just chewing all day, which is never good considering. Did you know that?
Good luck.
Nothing to do with tonight, but pandas spend like 75% of their life chewing. I mean, how unfortunate. You don't want to be doing that with your carpaccio.
Absolutely not.
So,
okay.
So we just want to get some of this now. If you've got a long plate, great.
I like it.
If not, I just want to be quite sporadic. And it's just warm, you know, it's just nice, warm, beautiful beef. And just get a little bit of...
I think it's looking lovely. I love the way you're giving a little bit of space around it too.
Yeah, really important as well. Value for money. But it's, you can just overlap a few pieces as well.
Yeah.
Build up. The reason is that when we dress it as well, you want, maybe you'll cut into that one and that one, but you want a mouthful and you want to plate it in a way that the diner or yourself, or me and you in this case, you know, that you get your message across and you get people to eat it however you intended it to be eaten.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
And then we've got a little sort of packet of pecorino.
Yeah, beautiful pecorino.
Pecorino rather than Parmesan?
Yeah, pecorino and Parmesan. Parmesan's obviously a bit more northern Italy. Pecorino more southern Italy as well. I think you get that, if you just smell that, you get like a ewiness, almost like a goaty kind of flavour, which I don't mind, but I think with this, the saltiness against the richness of the beef really works. I'm a big fan. Don't try this at home if you're not confident. If you've got a little microplane, great.
Or great.
Tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what. We've got a little microplane here. You really want to go to town on this. We'll finish with that. Cherry dressing, did you try this?
No. I'd
So
like
try a little bit.
Maybe
it's a little bit
I
sweet.
Did. God, I think I did, you know. No, I haven't. Here we go.
It's delicious.
Oh, yes, sir.
Really unusual and quite sweet as well. So you'll probably need to use about half of this. What we're going to do is just going to break.
And the cherries, you're sort of breaking those up? No, they're going on whole.
No, we'll break a few of them up. So as we put it on, you just want to get some maybe on every other piece. So you're getting a bit of texture of the cherry.
Such a good colour. I can really see this working.
Yeah. And then over and then just drizzle.
And you can have some fun with carpaccio, can't you? The different cut and how you garnish it.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally you'll see it. People use fillet, you know, £45 a kilo, tasting nothing. It's tragic, really, if you think about it. But not a big fan of fillet, but you go down to these butcher's cuts or chef's cuts. You've got all that flavour, great price, great yield and value. And then we just want to, let's just do the opposite one so you get a different little texture. Nice little salty pieces, nice little sweet pieces. Done this before, Charlie.
Get creative at home with your plating. Let's see what you come up with, and please, get posting and use the hashtag.
Exactly, and then those Cornish little leaves.
Yeah.
So I was going to use them in and about a few of the dishes. So do you know what? I feel quite calm tonight, Charlie.
You've got a great aura.
This kind of like food,
Yeah,
it really makes me feel at home. It's a bit like, it's not a tick job. It's kind of like comes naturally.
Yeah, well, we were
Beautiful,
saying earlier
simple
how
food.
Well, exactly. That's often the very best food. Let those ingredients really speak for themselves. And also, Italian food. It's so difficult not to sort of talk about Italian food without sort of a smile on your face. It just makes you happy, doesn't it? It's sunshine in the head.
It does. Pasta. Me and my wife travelled all around Italy, and I'm really excited to see the guys.
How excited are you about having James and
I know.
Pasta, hey?
Phenomenal. We've been talking a lot, and I'm excited about that. But before that happens, I'm just going to finish this dish off. A little sprinkle of pepper to finish. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Lovely plate of food. So we've got those beautiful canapes there.
Yep.
Just going to shift this over here a little bit. That lovely pasta. And then there we go. So we've got aged beef carpaccio. So from a Shorthorn variety of beef. We've got some Amarena cherry and some pecorino with some peppers to finish.
Magnificent.
Absolutely
Great.
beautiful.
Okay, and then so that's sort of starter number one, and then we've got starter number two,
Yeah.
which is the Berrata Mozzarella.
Now the reason, as well, people are getting quite spoiled in this box. I just thought it was nice, a very romantic thing to do is to share the food.
Yes.
And a luxury, we've worked in lots of private households and it's becoming more demanding. People want to eat, they want a big, sporadic kind of offering. Yeah, like a banquet. Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to find the right word then. Could I very kindly ask for the middle bowl?
There we go.
Thank you very much. And again, really, really simple dish to plate. So I need a little drainer there, take one of these. So we've got burrata. We had way back before Christmas, we had in Outback that beautiful stracciatella, same company, La Tua. So again, charcuterie, English London. This is North London as well. I'm just going to pop this in the
Isn't
centre.
it brilliant that we've got these fabulous producers here on our doorstep who are making these incredible ingredients that are as good, if not better.
I said this. The cheese awards that are in this country at the minute, we're rival in France. Everyone thinks Camembert, all these beautiful, Swiss cheeses. And basically, look at that.
Look at that.
Oof. Absolutely beautiful.
That's
so we're going to go over a little bit of height. This, Charlie, is going to change people's lives at home. So
now, what is this? This is something that you've been playing around with at Rocket. I'm intrigued.
look at that. This would be the Ryanism throughout all of the jazz that we're putting together today. So this is Delica Pumpkin. So if you tuned in for Medina, we had those acorns and the big green numbers. The big green numbers were Delica Pumpkins. And if you can see what we've done there.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're sort of carpaccios.
They are. So we've kind of put it into carpaccio.
Yeah.
And then we pickled it in some maple syrup, some brown sugar, and a little bit of Italian vinegar. And then we're just going to kind of rosette the whole thing. I'm going to go straight back to the 70s. And all my original teachers are going to be
When you were young.
very, very happy. I'm just going to dance that on top there, just make sure it doesn't fall over. Come back 2 minutes later, it's all over the place, clean the plate, because it's very, very caring evening tonight. It's all about the love. And then we're going to go with some of this Tardivo. So you guys have got, I thought I'd bring this on because it's an incredible thing. It's a false radicchio, and what they do is it's a big kind of plant that grows, and then they strip it all back, they pack it upon, I don't know, they pack it in a big kind of crate, starve it of light, starve it of water, and it kind of forces without producing.
God, the poor thing.
Yeah, photosynthesis, so it doesn't go green. So basically, we just want to chop this down here. And we just want to use a couple of leaves. So you guys at home have got a wedge. I just wanted to show you what the whole thing looks like.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's lovely, isn't it?
When you just have some ingredients, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it?
So I just want to break a few of these. Now, what do these offer? Starving them of water and light. They offer a buttery finish, sweet instead of bitter. I'm just going to break some of these around here. Just going to set these, be really chefy.
I love it.
So just going to hook those in there, like that, and then in a minute it'll
Come
fall
on, Tadio,
over.
behave,
Come on,
behave.
Come on, be good, be good. Make me look professional. There we go.
Yes.
It's going to fall in a minute. It's going to fall.
Yeah.
We'll let it go. Let it be. Let it be.
Yeah, we can call it your sort of Tardido Pisa moment.
Yeah. But it's again beautiful, beautiful ingredients. And then we just want to kind of finish with this. So in the pesto, we've got some toasted pumpkin seeds, some miso, some parmesan.
Miso?
Yeah, miso. Miso. Do you know what? Miso, I look at my salts. People think, oh, it's a bit salty. You can use soy, you can use miso.
So do you use it as a sort of a seasoning agent?
Yeah, umami, you got parmesan in there. It's like brother and sister, a big umami, rich kind of milky flavour. And there you go. Dish number 3. We've got the canapes, shared starters, food of love, really elegant.
Stop it.
Bon
Ryan.
appetit. And now
so good.
it's going to be a magical moment now because we're going to get to go into the main course, which is very,
we are indeed
very exciting.
And I know you are going to disappear with the fondant, aren't you? And you're going to come back after James and Rebecca.
I am indeed.
And with 2 cooked fondant, so that you can show everyone at home how it gets plated, because actually the fondant is something you guys want to at home cook when you are ready to have pudding and not to have it now.
Yeah, exactly. Can I take my wine?
Please do.
Okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
I'll be back soon. See you later.
Oh, well, lovers of Italian food, it gives me huge pleasure to welcome James and Rebecca French from the brilliant Nonna Tonda, a pasta delivery business which until now has been London's best kept secret. But on Monday, James and Rebecca will be sending their sensational pasta nationwide. And this evening, on a cook's tour, we're extremely fortunate to have them with us and teaching us how to create tagliarini ai frutti di mare. Gosh, I hope I said that right. James, Rebecca, very warm welcome to A Cook's Talk.
Thank you, Charlie.
Come on in.
Hi, Chuck.
How are you?
Great to be here.
I'm extremely well and very, very pleased to see you both. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for taking the time to teach everyone at home how to make your incredible pasta.
Well,
Very pleasure.
Thanks for having us here. This is looking amazing what we're at.
Yeah, well, it's looking good, isn't it?
I like to follow for sure.
Yeah.
Tell us quickly a little bit about Nonna Tonda and you know, your incredible business and how it all began, really.
So we started initially, we were a restaurant and we started that about 2 years ago. But initially we did this sort of trip to Italy. James decided he wanted to specialise in just one thing really simple and do it really well. So we packed up our bags and we had a baby at the time, Freddie, who was 6 months old. And we did this amazing tour of Italy where we just ate as much pasta as we could, went to Airbnb kitchen, stayed in Airbnb, sorry, and cooked up as many dishes as we could, and yeah, it was great fun. And we came back and then we sort of did a pop-up which led to a restaurant, and then yeah, from COVID we started a delivery service and very quickly turned it into a regular subscription service, and yeah, it's going really well and we're about to launch nationwide next week.
Well, congratulations. I love your story. I love it fits so well with tonight and the Romance of Venice, but that lovely romantic notion of going through on a road trip through Italy, and just sort of, I can imagine it sort of, you know, the eating and the discovery and the sort of the writing of notes, and it's the birthplace of ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Only we were in a VW camper van. Wish we could have done it like that, but not quite.
Brilliant. Well, it's great to have you here. And James, what are we going to be cooking? What's it going to be tonight?
So, well, tonight we're going to do seafood tagliarini. Fantastic dish, lovely flavours, and amazing ingredients.
And we're using your very own tagliatelle, isn't it? This is what you make.
It's the tagliarini, yeah.
Tagliarini, sorry.
So this is a combination of 00 flour, semolina, and whole egg. So lovely rich colour. These are sent new eggs from Cornwall, and yeah, it's fantastic. So let's open it up and
what do you do? Sort of give it a little bit of a wake up.
Exactly, yeah. So just
you want to make sure it's not sticking together at home. Yeah. You want to make sure you separate all your tagliarini nicely.
Okay, so that's to one side.
And we had a bit of fun last week when we did an Instagram live video, and James and Rebecca taught me how to actually make this tagliarini. So if you want to, have a look at that, but make sure you look at the top part of the screen, because then you can see how the pro does it, because, well, my effort was
pretty good. No, you kept it well.
Very good what you did.
So if you're keen, have a look at that and you'll be able to see how the tagliarini is actually made. But tonight what we're going to do is we're going to cook the sauce first, and then we're going to ask everyone at home probably just to stop, and then James will show how you cook the pasta, because the pasta only takes, what, a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
If that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So unless you want to have your pasta ready, immediately, which I suggest you don't, then I suggest you pause and then finish the sauce and the pasta a little later when you're ready for it. Great. Well, let's have a look at the ingredients.
Okay.
What have we got here?
Fantastic. So first things first, tagliarini tomatoes.
Yeah.
These are full of flavour and straight from Sicily.
Fantastic.
So
we're going to get Rebecca to work.
We could do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
So if you can cut those into quarters for me, please.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then we've got some beautiful prawns, which they've been marinating for a while.
Exactly, yeah. So chilli, garlic, parsley, plenty of olive oil, and that's been marinated for
delicious.
I feel like
24 hours or so.
A hefty knife I've got.
You're doing well with it. And then in the other pouch is the...
This is a fantastic Lobster Bisque with cod, mussels and squid.
Fantastic.
Really rich, deep flavour there. So
yeah, and that Lobster Bisque, I believe, has been made sort of, with the lobsters, is it the shells?
Exactly, yeah. So you roast the shells and longestines, lots of flavour in there, into the water, and then that just bubbles away for hours. So
and you just let it do its thing.
Yeah, it's nice and rich. That's what all the flavour is.
Brilliant.
And then we got the finishing touch, which is the pangrattato, which is just homemade sourdough, toasted in a frying pan with fennel seeds.
Ah, delicious. Is there a big thing about, should you ever put, is it cheese on seafood pasta?
Exactly, it's a big no-no.
It's a big no-no, isn't it?
Always, yeah. So
pangrattato.
Never cheese.
To go for. Rebecca, how are you getting on there?
Well, this knife's pretty.
You're doing well
big,
with that. Well, Ryan's blade, isn't it? I think he went off to Japan to find that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're good to
We're
go.
good.
Okay,
So-
should we get going?
Yeah. So you got your pan on the go.
Yeah, it's a nice hot pan
Yeah, nice
for
hot
the prawns.
pan. Brilliant. And what's the first thing to?
So, first of all, we're going to cook the prawns in. So,
Oh, well done getting that pouch open.
Yeah.
That's caught out a few chefs.
very difficult.
So what, that's in garlic and chilli and
Garlic, chilli, olive oil,
nice.
parsley.
And what's so beautiful is the prawns. They're raw, aren't they? They're blue. So,
Exactly, yeah. So you want to be careful at this point. Just make sure that you don't burn your garlic.
okay.
Otherwise, the dish is going to taste bitter.
Okay.
Keep turning your
Immediately.
prawns. So,
Stirring.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, it's smelling fabulous already.
so you want
It's
to keep
amazing
going
how
until-
quickly the prawns turn in colour too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, they cook in seconds.
Yeah.
So once you've got some nice pinkness on each side,
Yeah.
go in with the lobster emulsion.
Okay.
So let's open this up.
If we can.
If we can. Yeah, well done. So everyone at home, you should have your prawns on the go, making sure the garlic doesn't catch. And
Okay,
then emulsion going in. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so once that goes in, that needs probably around 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So just when you start see the fish starting to break up, you can,
And are you looking to sort of bring the sauce down a bit, a little bit of reduction?
yeah.
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 At the same time, we can put the tomatoes in.
Yeah. So your lovely tomatoes. Whoa.
Delicious.
And there's a little bit of
I can
chilli in
help
there,
you
isn't
there.
there? A little bit of heat is sort of in the background.
Exactly, yeah. There's a nice kick to it. So,
And how do you know when it's ready? Is it the prawn you're looking out for, or?
well, so the fish, obviously, once the fish starts to break up slightly,
Yeah.
you know it's good to go, and you get the pasta on, and then we can just finish the dish at the end.
Got you.
How hot is your pan? Is that sort of looks quite low heat?
Yeah, so this is what it should be medium to high.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I notice you keep sort of moving it around as well.
yeah, keep moving around, and just once you start with the tomatoes are broken up a bit.
Then you're looking good.
Yeah.
And if you could go back to Italy, gosh, when we can, where are you going to go back to first? Where's going to be that first place?
I think definitely the south,
To the south. You love the south.
Naples, Sicily, like that.
Yeah.
All your Amalfi Coast around there,
yes,
near
please.
Naples.
Yeah. Because there's a big difference, isn't there, in the food from the south and the north. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many different cultural differences too, and political for that reason. But
Yeah.
but the food particularly, I mean, it's sort of the sun down there. I mean,
Yeah.
it just sort of wakes everything up, doesn't it?
Exactly, exactly. And I think with the pasta dishes, you really notice because all the sort of rich egg pastas are from the north,
Right.
and you see much richer sauces, more buttery.
Yeah.
And then as you get further south, you get sort of the orecchietti and the trophy and those handmade pastas, which are just semolina flour
Yeah.
and water, so there's no egg in them, and they tend to be with a much more oily sauces with lots more vegetables and things like that.
Fabulous.
Very
Well,
simple.
I've been, as you know, I've been receiving your pasta now for a little while, and I'm mesmerised by
Good to have you on. Good to have you on board.
I'm a huge fan, but the variety of pasta is phenomenal. How many different
Yeah, and I think
types of
we're
pasta.
just scraping the surface. There's so
Wow.
much more to come, so it's really exciting.
James, I
Okay,
noticed
so-
there that you're happy, are you?
Sauce is done, yeah. Now
Okay.
let's get the pasta on.
Good. Okay, so everyone at home, at this moment, I think just put your sauce to one side. Okay, so and now watch James as we go through the sort of the cooking of the pasta, because it doesn't take very long to do. And then there's this sort of wonderful sort of wizardry moment where James will use some of the water from the pasta to create the emulsion in the sauce. So let's watch.
Okay.
Now, James, what are you looking for?
Salt. Can I grab that salt?
Salt. Yeah, that's all
Okay.
for you. Let's move
Perfect.
Ryan's copper.
Okay, so 1
Do you
teaspoon
want
of
that
salt.
rolling a bit more now?
Yeah.
Bit more heat.
So 1 teaspoon of salt for every
Yeah.
litre of water. That's a rule of thumb.
Okay.
1 heaped teaspoon.
Yeah.
So there we go. Is that right?
So
Nice-
always
nice
season the
rolling
water
boil.
first.
Yeah,
in a rolling
exactly,
boil.
Yeah,
They say it should taste like the Mediterranean.
that's the rule
Love
of
it.
thumb.
That's the rule of thumb. Yeah. Have you tasted the Mediterranean?
Wow, not for a long time.
Swimming with your mouth
Quite sadly not for a long time, but
we'll be back.
hopefully,
Okay.
hopefully soon.
And
So,
then when
let's get this up to
we're
a rolling boil.
up to a rolling boil, then the pasta goes in, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sort of dreaming of Italy right now, and looking forward to getting back there as soon as we can. Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So pasta in.
Okay, this will take about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If you haven't got a basket, you can use, well, either tongs to take it out or a colander, but
But if you use a colander, make sure you save some of the pasta water in a mug or something like that.
Yeah. Because that's really important. I mean, so often people cook pasta and then they just sort of strain all the water away, but you really need that water, don't you? For the,
Yeah.
And what is it? What's
the starch in
the
this?
starch? Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So it creates this sort of creamy emulsion,
Yeah.
gives it that sort of silky feel.
Yeah. 'Cause I noticed that with all your pastas that you send me, it's very simple. There are three components. There's this beautiful egg pasta, which is always fresh, and then there's the wonderful the sauce, and then there's the garnish. But it's always the same in the sense that you have to keep using that water to emulsify the sauce.
Yes, exactly.
If you don't, it can be quite dry, and the sauce and the pasta won't sort of combine. You want it to combine into like a nice silky.
And also, don't be scared to add too much water, because you can always boil it off. You can reduce it.
Yes.
So don't be afraid to just keep adding.
Yeah.
So
how are you looking there? You're looking close.
this is almost there.
Do you have a favourite pasta?
Rebecca, or
Pappardelle for me.
Pappardelle,
Yeah,
yes.
I love it, and actually I really like it with sort of the more creamy sauces, so silky and stuff like that.
Delicious.
But
What's your sort of signature Nonna Tonda? Is there one?
well, I guess the first dish was the beef shin ragu, which is
Beef shin ragu.
yeah,
bone marrow and nice rich flavours there.
8-hour cooked beef shin with bone marrow. And,
Whoa.
yeah,
Good.
really.
That's the sort of thing you want to be eating right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Time of year. Okay,
Okay,
are
so
we
let's
at that
get the
moment?
sauce back on the heat.
So sauce back on the heat when the pasta's ready.
Yep. And then we can just go straight from the pan
Yep.
in there.
In she goes.
And then this is a good time to either get a ladle or a spoon
Yeah.
to add your pasta water.
So in it goes.
that's
And how
quite
much
a
do you
lot,
add?
Well, it's just
Is it just sort of feel?
it's a case of just, I don't know.
Look at that. That's the way to do it.
So you want to keep tossing it until you've got that sort of creamy sauce.
Nice.
So you're looking for the sauce to just sort of thicken the line.
Yeah, and then as you can see there, you've got a bit of liquid at the bottom.
Yeah. Can I pop it on this camera here? Let's have a look. You pop the board on there.
Okay, so you've got a bit of liquid at the bottom there.
Yeah.
That's really important. That
Yeah.
that's going to fall through the pasta when you plate it up. Okay.
I'm so pleased with a pro doing that. Whatever you do, don't ask myself or Rebecca. Well, I'm sure Rebecca can do it, but I think...
There, I can't. He's
refurbish
tried
the
to teach
studio.
me. I'm not strong enough.
There's a skill in it, isn't there?
Okay. So
Great, do you want some plates?
let's plate it up. Yeah. So nice and even. So
Yeah.
if you do it alternately
Okay.
to make sure the plate
Otherwise,
is
you won't get
otherwise-
Even portions.
all the good bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
And I do love tagliarini actually because it's so silky as well. It's like really delicate
Yes.
pasta to have with a seafood sauce. It really goes well.
Yes, I suppose there is that sort of science, isn't there, of matching the right sauce to...
Yeah, a lot of that is regional as well,
Is it?
and a lot of Italian snobbery, I think, because, I mean, no bad thing, because I think a lot, but as I was saying, that you get the egg pastas from the north, and then also Italy is so regional with what dishes come from which region.
Yes.
Like a ribollita is from Tuscany, and you wouldn't get a ribollita somewhere else, and things like that. So it's very much also like the traditional way of having
There's a lot of snobbery around.
Yeah, there is a lot of snobbery.
Okay, so
Pangranata, look
There we
at
go.
that. That looks really
and then
fabulous.
to finish,
Delicious.
plenty of this on top.
Be very generous with it.
And that will just give a bit of texture, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
And that's the sourdough, which is toasted, is it? And
Toasted,
then
yeah, plenty of olive oil,
olive oil and
fennel and chili.
fennel and chili.
Okay, and then just to top it off,
And a little bit of what's
parsley.
that, flat leaf parsley.
exactly.
Superb.
So there we go. Just to make
Oh, wow. James, that
Okay.
looks
There we
really,
go.
really good.
Yay.
So there we go, everyone at home. So when you're ready for it, warm your sauce up and throw that pasta in, and you'll create something as sensational as this. James, Rebecca, thank you both.
Thank you.
Great having you here,
Thank you,
and thank you
Shelley.
very much for sharing your knowledge and your wonderful story.
Well, thank
and
you
good
very
luck
much for having us.
with going national.
Well, yes, thank you.
you.
We look forward to it. Yeah.
See you again
All
soon.
right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very
Cheers.
much. Bye.
Bye.
Time to invite Ryan back for the fondant. So come aboard, Ryan. Wow, that was a fabulous masterclass, wasn't it?
You know
These
what?
guys are great.
Incredible people. James is a phenomenal. I mean, I've tried this in testing. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So you guys at home, you're going to be blown away.
In for a treat. Okay,
Exactly.
we'll come back to that later.
So here we go, the lovely fondants. I mean, what have I done here? Let another chef in my kitchen. No, I will exchange that for a perfect plate of food, as the lovely James and Rebecca have done any day. Could you pass me that plate up there, please,
Yeah,
Charlie?
of course I can.
Absolutely.
So what have you been up to? You've been cooking some fondant.
I have. So fondant, people, you know, you get like these supermarket versions, molten chocolate cakes. No, thank you. That's just a chocolate bar that they put in the middle just to melt. The proper way is a cake that you're, intending to cook slightly under. You know, safe to eat. You know, the eggs were cooked out in a sabayon in the base, which is where you cook the egg yolks out and you get a foam, so it's safe to eat. And we've got some Etna citrus mascarpone here, so a nice kind of salty, acidic, creamy kind of condiment, if you like, to just clash against the bitter kind of sweet depth of the chocolate.
Brilliant.
Beautiful way to end such a lovely meal.
So this is what everyone's got at home at the moment,
Yep.
the uncooked fondant. And whilst James and Rebecca are here, you pop that in the oven for 9-10 minutes.
Yeah, so you're looking, I mean, everyone's oven's different. I would go to about 9 minutes.
Okay.
And as you can see, guys, so if I just hold this here on the board, you've got a solid, almost fudge-like cake. And then, as you can see, comparing it to this one, you know, it's almost like cooked, almost like a brownie in texture. But the most important thing, if I just leave it there, if you just poke the top, it should feel almost a little bit liquidy, but slightly set on top. And this is the moment of truth. I'm going to be a little bit cocky, as usual, Charlie. And what a night to be as well. And I'm going to try and just take it out of the wrapper. So if you want to...
Living on the edge.
Yeah, I don't know if this one's going to play ball. But I've got to make a mistake sometime, haven't I? When am I going to learn? I'm not going to do that one.
Okay.
But I'm going to do this one for sure. So as you can see.
So is that one a tiny bit under?
Yeah, that one's yours. Pretty much. Yeah, and then just very, very gently, kind of just want to fold it over like so.
Yes.
There we go. Chef.
Yes, okay.
Chef.
Well done.
There we go. And then I do love those little winning moments in life, you know, when things go your way, apart from yours. So we'll put yours there, Charlie. And then we just want to kind of like just scoop a little bit of this out.
Are you quenelling?
Just a quenelle. A real beautiful quenelle on top there. And that's it. You know what? It's Italian cooking. We talked about the simplicity. I don't want to get it confusing. You've got a beautiful liquid centre, chocolate, brownie-like texture, salty, citrusy, bit of love on top. I mean, what more do you need? I'm going to throw a load of ingredients on there, so we are good to go, Charlie.
Simplicity.
At its best.
Okay, well, let's tidy down. Let's put all the dishes together in the middle. Can I?
Let's do that.
There
You can
momentarily.
indeed, yeah.
Oh, let's move the board.
My favourite part, Charlie.
Yes.
I mean, guys, you're in for a treat at home. This looks absolutely sensational, if I do say so myself.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to put one pasta in for now. Let's make sure on our overhead cam that we're getting everything where we want it. It's always a bit of sort of Tetris, this, isn't it?
How's that?
I think we need to come back this way a bit. Okay, Ron. What do we have?
So we have, let's start, you've got those beautiful canapes with the Islington cured Cobble Lane copper with some balsamic pearls, little mini bruschettas, that rosemary cheese on there, which is amazing. The two starters, so you've got a very, very sexy burrata, some pickled Delica Pumpkin, some beautiful radicchio with some miso pumpkin seed pesto, and the incredible, potentially my favourite after the pasta for tonight is a Anglais carpaccio, aged shorthorn beef with some amarina cherry and some nice pecorino to finish. The incredible Nonna Tonda fruits de mer. As they say it in Manchester, fruits de mer. Have a go. How do you say it? How do you say it, Charlie?
Oh dear. Frutti al tagliarini di mare.
I knew that
I think
was
it's
a boy.
completely wrong.
There you go. So beautiful. And then we end with the sensational chocolate fondant with Etna citrus mascarpone.
And not forgetting, of course, the Gusbourne rosé. Wow, there we go. What a feast. Come on, let's have a quick try. Everyone
Let's have a little go.
Getting their pasta water up to the boil.
I'm going to do this one just to show everybody
Come on, let's see how it goes.
that it's possible. Oh, look at that.
Oh, we've got the ooze.
Look at that.
There
All
it
that
is.
chocolate sauce.
That's delicious.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Mic down, I'm off.
Yeah.
Very happy with that. And we're going to stuff my face with one of these actually, Charlie. I'm going to do
Good.
it.
Well, whilst you're going in there, I've probably got a few minutes of Ryan being quiet, and I can just remind you all of the hashtag Cook with Rocket, and do tag a cook's tour. Please post your photographs of your creations there, and I think we should have a competition. Yeah, he's
still
nodding.
decent.
Let's have a competition. Let's have a free box to our next destination for the winner of the best looking plate of food. So get posting your photographs, and we will come back to you on social to let you know who's won that competition. And this is not a destination to miss. In 2 weeks' time, I'm sorry to say this, Ryan, but you're going to be on holiday for a week.
Do you know what? I'm happy about that because
Thomasina Myers, yes.
Incredible.
The incredible Thomasina Myers, MasterChef winner and co-founder of Oaxaca, is coming to the Cook's Tour kitchen to teach us all about food from Oaxaca in Mexico. So it's called Oaxaca Uncovered with Thomasina Myers, and I thoroughly recommend that you join us because we are going to be trying all sorts of incredible things, from agua chili to goat tortillas, and Johan Svensson from Drinks Fusion will be joining us too for his incredible paloma, which is a blood orange and rhubarb paloma. So do join us in 2 weeks' time, and you can buy your tickets on the Cook's Tour website.
it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, so tell your friends and family about us, and thank you. Thank you to you all for joining us this evening, and Ryan, thank you for cooking this incredible
Thank you, Charlie.
feast. And with that, we shall love you and leave you.
Good night.
Good night.